Now, normally, I don't like to cover things like this because I do not make fun of people who have mental health problems or mental deficiencies. I myself have struggled with anxiety and depression in the past. I have siblings, I have aunts and uncles and grandparents who have all suffered with mental issues. So normally, I don't make fun of people who have mental problems. Although, today I'm making an exception for this guy. He's a pastor. I'm not sure who he is. I don't watch these people. And he clearly has a really bad trace of Trumpmentria. Now, Trumpmentria is when you forget everything and you only focus on Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is almost like God to you. You revere him. You love him. God has put him in office. And God will give him a second term. Only he's not getting a second term. So when you suddenly realize that he's not going to get a second term, you have a breakdown. And, you finally, your Trumpmentria finally gives you a nervous breakdown. And this is what happens. Now, let's take a look.
Petition the courts. And we ask, Lord, that as it is written in the books of heaven, as it has been ordained in the councils of heaven, that President Donald J. Trump shall be reset and shall be reseated as the President of the United States of America. You, Lord, will arise and you will cause my President, Donald J. Trump, to be reset and to be reseated, Jesus. Would you grant that it would be done, Lord?
He's literally crying to God, begging God to please put Donald Trump in office. Please, God, restore Donald Trump. Donald Trump. God, I need Trump, please, God. Donald Trump is God's man. God's president. I guess Joe Biden's going to be God's man. Now, we're not. We resist this. We call upon every angel, everything, every counsel of the most high God, Gabriel, Mary, Joseph, whoever. We need Donald Trump. Donald Trump. The world will go to hell without Donald Trump. God, please. I'm sorry. I don't know whether to laugh or whether to feel sorry for this guy. Because this is pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. First of all, the idea that a president is quote unquote God's man is ridiculous. It's fucking bullshit. I don't understand how God picks the president of the United States. And the United States is so special that God has to handpick their leader. But what about the other leaders? Did God pick the Ayatollah too? Because they're in leadership in Iran. Did God pick the president of Zimbabwe? Did God ordain the monarch of Liechtenstein? Like what about all these other places? Did God give Putin his power and position? Or does the devil give everyone else their position and only America can be bestowed by God because we're God's country and we're so godlike? That's ridiculous. We've been bombing countries. We've been supporting genocide in Yemen. And you want me to believe that God has blessed this country after all the bullshit we've done? Ridiculous. I don't believe God's blessed any country because I'm an atheist. But you want me to believe that if there was a God, and if I believed in God, let's say hypothetical, that he specifically picked us as a special people, that's fucking ridiculous, man. There's nothing special about America. Nothing special about Americans. Absolutely nothing. We're people like everyone else. We just so happen to be the most prosperous nation on earth. And we still have more poor people than most other developed countries. And poor people here live some of the lowest quality of life compared to other places. So don't give me the God thing. But beyond that, The guy is breaking down to tears because Trump's not going to be the president. It's just something so sycophantic about this and cult-like. I really feel, part of me wants to feel like these people are idiots. You know, maybe that's just me being arrogant, but that's how I feel, partially. But then part of me feels sorry for them because I'm like, oh, they really cannot see beyond the cult that they're in. Like, they're thoroughly convinced that God has sent Donald Trump to be the Superman and save America. Like, I'm sorry, I can't take this seriously. Like, it just sounds so ridiculous. It's very hard to take this seriously. But, I mean, people loved George W. Bush. People loved Reagan. Even Reagan, people didn't even act like this for Reagan. What? Like, black people in the black community, which I'm part of, I'm black, loved Obama. And when Obama did war crimes and other things, made every excuse in the book for him. But no one worshipped Obama like this. Like, this is worship. Like, Pastor, have you not read your Bible? Have you not read the Ten Commandments? It says, thou shalt have no other God before me is the first one. The second one says, thou shalt not have any idols. Well, it sounds to me like you guys are idolizing Donald Trump. I don't know, man. This is just ridiculous, man. Like, the level of craze and worship and adoration and the sycophantic nature of a hardcore Trump supporter just drives me insane. Like, it's almost like Trump is more important than anything else. And Trump has not done many things that God would be pleased of. He has bombed more people. He bombed more people than Obama. I was upset because Obama dropped over 20,000 bombs one year in his presidency. He dropped 40,000 bombs in 2019. 40,000. And then he brags, we just dropped the biggest bomb ever. The biggest bomb ever. This is such an accomplishment for America. And we are making America great again by bombing everyone else. Are you kidding me? You're celebrating bombing people, killing people. You're killing civilians. God would not be pleased with this. Come on. You know, like, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. That somebody would think that this is God's man. But then again, it's also ridiculous to think that this is God's country. Because it's not. And if it is, I don't know what kind of fucking God you're serving, man. I just don't know. Because God would not be allowing people to live in poverty. God would not be in favor of mass incarceration. And God certainly would not be in favor of bombing innocent people and doing drone wars overseas where 97% of the casualties are civilian. God would not be in favor of this. God would not be in favor of escalating war with Iran and trying to go to war. God would not be afraid. Excuse me, I said afraid. He wouldn't be afraid. God would not be supportive of you trying to do a nuclear strike on Iran. And God would not be supportive of a one-time $600 payment in the middle of a pandemic and letting people get evicted from their homes and not allowing people to pay their rent while giving a tax break and also giving bailouts that almost exclusively went to the top 1%. So no, this is not God's man. And anyone who thinks it is either completely brainwashed or full of shit. Or I don't know. Maybe they worship a God that I never heard of. Maybe God is really evil. Who knows? I don't know. But all I can say is, if this is God's man, I will not be serving them because I don't know what fucking type of God you're talking about.